Hey there. My name is Josh Woods. I'm with a company called Loudmouthed Media out of Portland. And I'm a web designer, and I'm sure that this video is probably way out of left field, but I wanted to. I've been searching for local businesses in my off time, Fridays and so on, where when I find them, that I look at their websites and I thought, I have some ideas, maybe make their website a little bit better. And I also noticed in the last week or so that you visited my website a couple of times. So I just wanted to give you a little free offering, no strings, just kind of let me give you some ideas in case you're interested in the website redesign at some point in the future. So what I'm going to do is just go over kind of the good and the could be better on your website, and just kind of have it there in case you're interested in doing a website redo. If not, that's totally okay, but it is for you to keep. And so I'm just going to go over some stuff here and then give you some ideas. So I'm looking at your site right now, and I love the positioning, or aligning your company with the Northwest, with Mount Hood, new trees by year, reference guides, and kind of the tree arborist, sort of a feel. I know that, I can tell right off the bat that you offer bare root trees, container grown trees, varieties of, I think I've driven by your nursery actually, all varieties, flowering trees and shade trees. Awesome. It makes it very easy for somebody when they get here to get into your site and take a look at what they're looking for, and get down to a very specific tree and then have information. And again, I really like that. My only concern would be, once they get to this point, what do they do? And I don't know if you don't really get many sales from your website, but just kind of taking a look at this. As a matter of fact, it looks really familiar, your logo, now that I think about it. And anyway, so kind of some ideas on how you could present your information a bit better, just so that when people arrive, they can find what they're looking for even better, and make it so that potentially your website could produce more sales for you. And I'm not sure if there's a seasonality to your business. I would expect that maybe spring to summer to fall, you're probably selling most of what you grow to local businesses or to the state, or I'm not sure where you what's covered. But anyway, so over the next couple of minutes, probably 5 to 10 at the most, I'm just going to cover some ideas, and maybe something that you can, some ideas on how you can present what you do a little bit better. So I picked out a couple of designs that may work really well. One of them is a little bit less traditional than the rest, but I figured, give you a variety of ideas here. So the first one is, this is a bit of a gardening and landscape plant care sort of a feel, but it does kind of align with what you're doing. And I would imagine if we were going for this design, your logo would work really well right there. And then a menu that's right here in the middle. And I could even imagine the same kind of menu you have: home, products, catalog, sales, events, about us, and contact us, right here. And contact information right there on the top. So if somebody wanted to call or email, they could, or if they wanted to drive by. And then here in the middle, presenting, and this is something that could rotate and change, where your 5 main things that you offer are right here by category, and have an image of each of them right here, and then a description of that, like flowering trees. Okay, great. So what what sort of flowering trees would I expect to find? And maybe a little bit, a line or two about flowering trees here. And then if they want to learn more, they can. And as you go down, you can see that there's these little bit of interactive rectangles that you could have all of your, all of your categories here, all 5 of them right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or presented 3 and then 2, with images of the actual you know, category right there. And I really like the font. It's kind of a homey sort of, you know, stylish font that works really well. It's a standard font here, but then it's kind of a handwritten sort of a font, which kind of works really well. You can see how they kind of contrast each other, and it works nicely. And along with sort of the green thumb, green feel with some tans and whites in here also. And then below the area that shows the categories, then a nice about us statement would be the next thing that I would do. Now, I like these articles. It's really good. I would just really want to present, especially since you're an Oregon business, you're probably a fairly small business. This is gold right here. So this content, picture with an image, look at this as an actual image too, so I definitely recommend that we fix that, because this is something that you would want people to actually be able to highlight to learn more about. But this sort of thing here would work really well here, even with the circle, you know, cropped in where there's the family shot and then there's the text that's right there. That would work really, really well. And then, you know, if there were services that you offered, we could highlight them here, and then a bit more examples of those services. And this is another way of presenting categories also. So if you wanted to have the different types of trees here, that will work. That's another way of kind of an example of doing that. And then the testimonials. If you have people who have given you testimonials, it'd be really great to have it right here. You know, and then like the clubs that you belong to or the groups that you belong to, where'd it go? Back here. You know, these memberships would go really real right here. And then if you do have content on your site, you have articles and you have videos and such, that would work really well here as well. And then the footer here with just a kind of a nice earthy plant farm sort of feel with contact information. So that's one concept that I think will work really well. Pretty standard to the arbor, farm, tree, gardening, landscaping sort of feel. This is a bit more landscape, only because showing the product the actual result of your products or your efforts or your services really works well to sell it. And so if you have flowering trees right here and why they're awesome, and then there's an example of them back here, and then let's see, what else is there? You know, bare root trees or shade trees, right? So shade trees and a couple of examples, or an example, or like a nice wide picture of your farm. And then, you know, flowering trees, and then bare rooted trees here. So presenting them so it rotates so that all five are shown within a span of 15 seconds, 30 seconds, is a great way to show a person the result of your products. And they're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And then they click, and then they can go to that page and learn more about, you know, those plants. And then you could have a gallery page, you know, something like this, where everything is kind of in a tile sort of a thing. And so you imagine your product pages or your tree pages being represented like this, where you have all of them here in a grid like this. And when they hover over, they see the name of, or the species of the plant. And when they go into it, then they can learn more about it here as in terms of like a pop-up, right? And they can even show different examples of the trees as an example. So I like this kind of layout with like the about us statement here, and then your articles could be represented like this or like this. I kind of gave you two examples there, you know, like the video and an article this and then a video. And then just more examples of way to present your services, information, testimonials. If you want to request a quote, they have this, you know, great page to go, hey, I'm interested in this. This is the product I'm interested in. You know, I need 5 of this. You know, what other questions you want to ask? You can absolutely just have this little form here, and then it just sends to you, and then you can call them back. And then finally, I have a different play on this version, which is, you know, this with like a background here that's a bit of a, you know, it conveys, like if you had a picture of your your farm or some part of your farm blurred out here in the background, and then this could rotate with different types of trees that you sell. So you could have an image of a tree that kind of slides in with, bare-rooted trees and some information, and then they can check it out. And then all of your 5 categories could be shown here like this. You can see this little description when you hover over it. An information area, and also another way to present services here. Very similar to what you've got with your different tree examples. That's a way to present it here too, where there's the example, a description. They can click on it and they can learn more about it. And this is another way, like I showed you before, with kind of the tiles of different products or services laid out like that. And then kind of a more fun way with a little icon picture also. So just kind of giving you some ideas here. But if I were to make one recommendation, I would say, this right here, I would really love to design this website for you, because this works really, really well with your content that you have. And then if we wanted to do, and this is how your tree examples will work really well here, where they could go by category, and then they go, oh, okay, I want to look at this kind of tree. And they look at it, and then it gives them a description. Obviously, I'm not sure if you want to do pricing, but some examples of those trees, right? And then description, and then maybe other information that you need to have there. And then if you wanted to do pricing per acre, or I'm not sure how you price it, but you can put that here, or you can have no price. But just a better way of presenting everything so that you could be a bit more captivating to your potential visitors. And anyway, that's my ideas. 12 minutes in. I appreciate you listening to everything. Let me know if you have any questions, feedback. I love it because I do this for businesses all week long, and I'd like to hear back on your opinions if I struck a nerve or if it was useful in any way. Thanks again, and my contact information will be in my signature on this email.